Hello and welcome. This is Lita Downs from the Center for Faculty Excellence, and I'll be moderating your recording session today, Learning Communities. We have Dr. Kelly Dardis on the line. Dr. Dardis is with the School of Counseling that's also in the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. Dr. Dardis, it's great to have you on the line, and I look forward, and so do the listeners, to find out more about learning communities here at Walden. Welcome.
Thank you. So I'm excited you're interested in learning about learning communities. Our program has had a lot of success with them, a lot of overwhelming success over the past couple of years. And learning communities came about to meet the request for students for more connection with other students and faculty, a smaller environment. So it's set up as really a way for students and faculty to socialize. We keep them small. Groups of 10 is our objective, to have 10 students and a faculty member, a community member get together once a month, every other month, to talk about and really explore and drill down into topics of similar interest. It could be something in content that we're teaching at the university and they want to learn more about it, or it can be something that's ancillary to content that they want to learn more about. So some of the ones we've done are private practice, and students who are interested upon graduation and licensure opening a private practice. They meet and talk to faculty members about the ins and the outs. These are not webinars, these are not lectures, these are meant to be discussion, community building, socializing time for the students and the faculty or whoever's leading them to get together and just kind of bring their coffee and sit down and talk and encourage each other. If we need a lecture, that's another avenue, and that would be a webinar. So it really is what they say, a learning community, and the students tend to eat it up. We set them up at the beginning, the first time we ran them and piloted them a couple of years ago. They met once a month over 6 months, so 2 quarters. They met every month, and since then we've set up options so that some learning communities meet once a month for just 3 months over the span of 1 quarter, or every other week for 1 quarter. So we've kind of become a lot more flexible with our options to offer the learning communities. A lot can happen in 6 months. So if you start in the summer and you run into the winter, a lot happens, as we know recently. Even society changes a lot in 6 months. So it's a long span, but that works for some communities. It's a good fit. So others not as much. So, and we've also added the idea of an open community where faculty are open to more than 10 students joining. So then each time they meet, the core students come, but then we also invite additional students who might not be regular attendees to join in. So that would be an open community. The closed one is just the folks who signed up in that small core group that meet regularly to socialize and talk about something they're all passionate about. So another closed community was on intimate partner violence and what we can do as counselors and practitioners. Play therapy, we've had them opened and closed. Diversity in counseling is a closed group. So it just kind of depends on the topic and the faculty and their thought about what's the best fit. So that's kind of a learning community in a nutshell. So next slide, please. So faculty are the folks that really lead these more often than not, core and contributing. We have great contributing faculty that jump in and are thrilled to have closer interaction with the students as well as our core faculty. But we've also found that community members love to join in and pair up with a faculty member or doc students. We actually this quarter, 2 years in, have a doc student running her own learning community on cultural awareness in counseling and how to be aware of diversity and diverse client needs, and that's fully one doc student running it. She just did 3. She said once a month for 3 months, and so she's off and running. But we've also found recently that a group of faculty makes also an amazing learning community opportunity. This came about when we polled students and said, what are some of the areas that you are interested in learning more about, having more personalized learning, approaching something with more depth with other folks. So we asked them, and there were like 30 different topics, but we took the top 3 and then asked faculty. So we reversed the process. Instead of asking faculty what they wanted to do, we said, here's what students are looking for. Anybody out there in the faculty interested? And one of the topics was advanced group counseling techniques and theories, and 11 or 12 faculty signed up and said, yes, put my name down. So what we did was one faculty member led each time just once. And then the students came and heard from different faculty. So the same core group of students kept coming and hearing different viewpoints and different takes and different ideas. And the workload for the faculty was I came and I did 1 hour and I was a part of this community. So that worked out really well too. We ran 2. The other one was creative counseling techniques. How to do more than just sitting and talking with a client. What are some of the activities and ways that you incorporate other ideas into counseling? And a group of faculty came and they each led one discussion with students. And that one was neat because it turned out that the faculty member would present the idea and the students would participate in it. So it was really kind of experiential, where here's what I want to show you, but you're going to learn by doing it. And we're going to talk through it and you're going to ask questions by doing. So that one was really fun too. So the group of faculty is a great way as well to find people to lead these communities. So next slide, please. And we have to keep touching back to why we're there, so they don't turn into a webinar where students come for an hour and just sit and listen to another lecture, because the purpose is that individualized learning and socialization and connection. So if faculty are interested in doing a presentation or a webinar or taking something that they've created and presented at a conference, that is a different venue than a learning community. The purpose is just to sit and give information. That's not a good fit for what we're doing with the learning community. I say that, and there are some caveats. We have a, one of our faculty member is ASL. He has a learning community of students that want to learn and learn sign language, and they talk about the deaf community and their culture. So sometimes there is some teaching element where the students in that community are learning sign language. So there are some caveats where it does fit what our purpose is. So next slide, please. So consider if you've led or participated in learning communities. It's not a new thing. So if you yourself have been in them and have enjoyed them and know what it's like, just think about, this is what we're doing. It is I mean, they even have a journal. They have a peer-reviewed journal about learning communities, and I've written some articles and published some things. So it's not a new concept. It's just a great concept that fits well with online learning and Walden, and it fits real well with the pillars and where we're heading as a university. So if you've done it, yay, hopefully you'll be excited and want to start implementing some learning communities in your area. So next slide, please. So really the heavy workload is setting the communities up. They run themselves and they just kind of do their own thing while they're in progress. It's the setting it up where there's work to be done. And myself, I am the faculty that oversees it, but Chi Sigma Iota is our Counseling Honor Society, a student organization associated with our program. and doc students that are in our program are offered and asked, and of course they come. All you need is one person to say I will, and they help out with coming up with the topics and filling it and creating a spreadsheet where we know who's running it. So the students help with the organizing and the filling, and meeting at the end of every quarter to discuss what are we going to do the next time. You know, how do we want to organize it? So there's 2 or 3 weeks of work to be done, and then once they're rolling, and we just kind of sit back and are support for faculty. So it helps to have a student organization take on some of this. It's a great fit for them, and a great way to for me to interact with our students as well as the faculty advisor for this program. So next slide, please. So we gather topics, and what we're going to do in a couple different ways. We used to just ask faculty. When we first started and we piloted, we had 4 faculty members, and we reached out to 4 specific faculty members that we thought would be amenable and say yes. Knocked on their door and they said yes, and they stepped up so we could iron out the kinks and where are the problems and what is our learning curve. So we specifically asked, will you do 6 discussions over 6 months on this topic? And each one of them said yes. We had we had play therapy, the use of technology in counseling and teaching practices. We had doc students in there. We had a learning community on the school, K through 12 school to prison pipeline, and systemic racism and inequalities. And so we had a learning community on that. And then the third one was mentoring programs, or the fourth one was mentoring programs. So they each said, yes, we'll do it. And they picked the 6 discussion points that they would talk about, 1 per hour. And since then, we've learned that is a great avenue. And we still put out the call to see, is any faculty member really want to create a small community within our students on a topic. And play therapy comes up every single time. So we always have 1, 2, 3, 4 faculty members that run learning communities on play therapy with a specific group of students. So we still have that option, but the other way is to ask our students, where are you wanting more information? That's where we got the group and the creative techniques. Another area they were very much interested in was crisis, community crisis, school crisis, large scale crisis. Well, not just one-on-one. How do we as counselors help communities through these larger crises, and how do we help our first responders? So that one didn't make it to the top of the request list, so we didn't offer it this time, but we will next time. And with that topic, we will send it out to faculty and say, we are looking for faculty who are interested in filling 1 or more. How many specific talking points would you like to offer up under this umbrella, and we'll fill it. We'll probably, I'm suspecting, knowing our faculty, have at least 6 faculty members that will be a part of that, and we will get them a group of 10 students. And when I say 10, we invite 25 to 30 students into the learning community, and that each week when they meet, 10 folks will show up. If I only invite 10 students into the learning community, when they meet, sometimes there's only 4 or 5 students in there. So we've kind of had to play with the number, 25, maybe 30 students. If we invite 30, there might be a week where there's 12, and we just check with the faculty. So we fill their community, and then they decide what day each member is going to talk on what talking point. So we will probably be offering large scale crisis and how we can make a difference in our communities. So I have sample forms. If you're interested in any of this, my email is at the front of this and at the back of this presentation. I will send you everything I have, all the examples of everything we use, probably even get you some students to help you out and collaborate with us, and we can create learning communities together with your faculty and community members and ours, and start crossing some barriers where we should be collaborating. So I have sample forms about how we collect topics from students and topics from leaders who are interested from both avenues. So I will share what we have if you reach out. So next slide, please. So this is the top part of the form we send out to start a learning community. We use Google Forms and we ask questions. You know, what's your name? What's your email? What is your topic? Give me a couple sentences so I can advertise it for you so students know they're signing up for. What day and time, because students need to know I'm meeting on a Thursday evening. Oh, I can't meet. So we collect the basics information and decide how many learning communities we can support. Sometimes some of the requests for learning communities are similar, and we'll condense them and say, hey, you guys have 2 similar topics. Do you want to condense them and each of, you know, share 1 learning community and you're both leading it, or you're tag teaming every other week. The tag teaming has come in helpful if something comes up in the community and the leader can't be there, there's a backup. And sometimes we have doc students in there in case the faculty or community member can't make it. The community will still meet because it's a discussion, not a lecture, not a webinar. It's an experience and chance for people to bring their cup of coffee or their glass of tea and talk about things they're passionate about and connect with people that are equally passionate. So a second person is not a bad idea. So that's just the top of the form that we send out, and I'm happy to share all of these. So next slide, please. So once we get all the information from faculty and community members and doc students, and we have an idea of what communities we need to fill. 13 is a lot of communities. I will tell you, consider what you're offering. Because we started with 4 and 4 was a good number, and we ran it up to 13. So we were running more than 1 a week. And it's a lot. It's just a lot to manage. It's not a lot for the students or the faculty. It's a lot for us behind the scenes, because we have now started sending out reminders. On Monday, one of our students said, I'll send out a reminder. I think that's a good idea. I was like, okay, you take that on. So on Monday, they send out an additional reminder to all the students that are members. And then there's always email questions. You know, I can't make it. I just need to let my person know. Or so there's a lot of chatter when they're not meeting that we're managing as well. So consider how many. We are going to probably keep it between 5 and 7 right now with us. We're bringing another faculty member on and some more students to share the load so that it's minimal of an hour or 2 of work as opposed to somebody taking it all on. So the spreadsheet, we put the faculty member, the topic, a short description, the day and time, and then we create a Zoom link for each different learning community. So in the spreadsheet, we just put all that in there. And then once we fill it with members, we put all the member names and contact information. And then this spreadsheet is shared with all of the learning community leaders. We create an Outlook appointment in their calendar, in their Outlook calendar. So if they're meeting every Thursday, every 3rd Thursday of the month, we create an event every 3rd Thursday, and we put the spreadsheet in there with the contact information, the Zoom link, so that comes up the day before, and we set reminders for them. So it'll come up and remind them, and if they need to contact students, they have the keys to their own kingdom and can run what they need. So the schedule is important to share and to keep things organized. And the person that sends out the reminders uses that. They just copy the email list, create an email, send it in an email, and copy and paste the standard reminder with the Zoom link. So that's important to have a viable spreadsheet that's shareable. So next slide. And then we fill with students. So we have the day and the time and the topic, and we create another Google form, and we put it inside of a SWAY. SWAY is a great Office product that we all have access to, or it's a free app out there, a Web 2.0 tool that everybody can use. It's a really super simple way to share without sending around a document or a form. But we put the sign up form inside the SWAY. and we drop it in the announcement. Some faculty copy it and post it in their individual classrooms, but we put it in the announcements for everybody. School of Counseling has one announcement area in Blackboard for all students, and it pops up in the front end of everybody's Blackboard. Some faculty copy and paste it and make a special announcement and email it out as well. So we fill it, and it's really first come, first serve. We ask for the student's name, what learning community they're interested in. Please only sign up for one. And then the top 25, 30 students are invited to join. So closed groups, there's where we invite 25 to 30 students, and 10 students come per meeting. Open groups, we have our standard number of students who get the reminder and are on the list and are on the member list. But if it's an open group for like test review for an upcoming licensure exam, and we post it, those students can come and join, but they're not on that loop of the constant reminders and the email list, but they can pop in and join whatever ones of those meetings that they can make. So most of them are closed, but we do have a few open groups that are beneficial for all students and faculty. Faculty came to the group one and the techniques one and learned from each other. And that was really neat to see faculty and students in there together. So yep, then we fill them up. Next slide. So this is what a SWAY would look like to join a learning community. The students, this shows up on their announcements. They click on it. There's a little explanation, and then click the link if you want to join, and it fills a Google form. Learn some things about Google Forms. Each learning community should be its own individual question. It shouldn't be click all the ones below you want to join. You can't sort data that way, which you'd think I'd know, having done much research, how to sort data a little better, but it was, oh yeah, I should use those skills. So each learning community should be its own little box so that you can sort the data and get a list of names and emails together. So then they join. I'll tell you, we usually have 400 students on a waiting list. So it turns out it's kind of a first come, first serve. I don't know how to serve the 400 students on the waiting list. But we rerun really popular ones, and we re-invite students to come in and have a second chance. We send the invite to join to the waiting list students first a couple days before we post it to the entire student body. So they fill up fast, really fast. I'd say it took a good year and a half for it to be integrated into the culture of our program, where students know what the learning community is, know when to look for the sign up, and then they ask about it. Can I join this one, or how do I get in that one? So it started with a long waiting list, but now it works the other way, where students are looking for it. So next slide. And this is when they link into the SWAY, this is like the top of our Google form to sign up for them, where they select the one they're interested in joining, and their second choice and their third choice in case the other ones are full. So we collect the information and fill the groups. And now we have days, times, topics, Zoom rooms, and students, and we connect everybody, and they run for the semester, for the quarter or 2 quarters. And they do their thing, and we just kind of manage the behind the scene emails and questions and faculty that say, could you just send this for me? Because we were very conscious of faculty workload. We don't want faculty to have to take on something more than meeting for the hour. 45 minutes is actually a great amount of time for the community to meet. For 45 minutes is what we're going to start switching to more often, a 45-minute instead of an hour. So we don't want faculty to feel like they have to do a lot of work outside or setting it up. We do all of it, so all they do is show up. And if they want to send emails to their students, they have the information, but we are also willing to send out emails to their members for them, because there are no workload points. These faculty are doing it because they're passionate and they love it, and they like talking about it, and their student interest, and it's a mentoring. and faculty come. There were 45 thank you emails sent out yesterday to faculty for running them this last quarter. So they definitely enjoy it as much as the students. So next slide, please. And then I will share with you, if you reach out to me, what the response sheets look like, just the Google form, and then how we sort the data so that we can have this learning community on Monday. Here are your students sorted. Here are your Wednesday learning community topic students and sort it. And then merge it to the master schedule. So happy to share. And I think I've said this, that we send out reminders 15 minutes prior. Outlook does that, but we are also sending out reminders for students who are not as connected to their Outlook calendar, because we did learn some students aren't as connected to their Outlook calendar as like I am as faculty, that I am looking at that all the time and I have appointments and I use it. So we also send out, or started to send out this last quarter, Monday reminders to students that are not as connected to Outlook. So they get lots of reminders because they're sometimes once a month, and you need a reminder if it's once a month and you're busy like we all are. So next slide, please. And then open groups, ones that are open to more than just the core, we repost that in the announcement a couple days before. If you post it 2 weeks before, you're going to have 200 students show up. So a couple days before we post, here's an open learning community if you want to join this week. The test review topic is career, and so will be leading a discussion on test taking and career, or whatever the open community is about. And so the open invite includes the Zoom link, but they don't get all the reminders. They don't get an Outlook calendar because they're not the core group. So we get more students to come. I think sometimes we can have 100 students in an open group. And we also let faculty know that if they're teaching a topic or they know that there's student interest, we'll say, take our open invite and post it in your class, for a more personal invite. So that happens too. And that increases the numbers in the learning community. Little harder to have a small discussion learning community with 100 folks. It tends to turn more into the core group talking or asking questions of the person that's in the group. So that starts to inch away from our purpose, but it's okay. The faculty can decide what they're comfortable with, and we will facilitate that. So next slide, please. This is an example of one of our open groups. We did some drilling down into theories, Gestalt, existentialism. I did one on Jung. And those were an hour and a half, but they were open. We had our core group, and then we invited other students and posted the open invite in the theories course and in the announcements in Blackboard. And this would be one that we had 100+ students that would come to these theories ones. So I find that content-based ones are very popular with students. Right now they're learning content, and to know more and understand more and hear about how it works in real life outside of the textbooks are popular. So that I've just noticed that they tend to gear themselves towards content and what they're learning. So thus the theories one is hugely popular. Okay, next slide. So we are looking to collaborate. So if you are interested in connecting with the School of Counseling, whether it's business or nursing or education or forensic science, I don't know, we would love to collaborate. And I mean, we've already got the system and the legwork. We would just love to connect your students and your faculty and our faculty to run and meet together. So let me know. Or if you're just, hey, I want to start our own with our own faculty for our own students, I have questions, share everything you have, reach out. Happy to have a collaborative group or send you everything we have and stand you up to run all on your own. So Thanks for coming. I hope you have found this helpful and useful and will implement some learning communities in your own area. So thank you.